This is from the play Escaping Benzo Oz, Scene 3, Entering Oz, Meeting My Munchkins. I hadn't known that antidepressants further damage brain receptors harmed by benzos. I began to guess something was awry the day my life turned into a fractured fairy tale. One afternoon, a man said I was seeing something impossibly cruel, which froze me to the marrow of my bones, literally. I slowly toppled over and lay there unmoving, still as stone, solid as granite. For an hour, I was unable to move anything but my eyeballs, frustrated and furious. I shouted silently, "Linda Lawson, get your butt up! Normal people don't turn into statues. Get the fuck up!" Then I saw what appeared to be a cloud of fireflies on the balcony, emerging from the flowers on my balcony. We don't have fireflies in Vancouver. What on earth could they be? As they flew through my window, I glimpsed fairies with firefly-like wings. Wee folk, fair as flowers, bright as tiny candles, hovering and flying over my body, concerned. Their love and warmth seemed to melt the ice, and I could move once more. It felt like being suddenly transported from normalcy to central character in a Grimm's fairy tale for adults. All I know is I tried to move with all my considerable strength and could not for nearly an hour. Had I known it was a withdrawal seizure that could have killed me, but for some strange magic that flew in on fairy wings, I'd have been terrified. Instead, I was fascinated, curious, enchanted by the whole experience. My benzo withdrawal journey had much more to teach me, but once again, I felt warm, supple, very human, and grateful. I closed the door on that cold and unloving friendship and opened another door into further adventure. Scene 5, The Drag Queen Scarecrow. The withdrawal from both benzos and an antidepressant too rapidly seemed to explode my brain into a kaleidoscope. As staggeringly lovely pieces of my shattered mind tumbled out on the ground, I picked them up lovingly, mending them with glitter, gold paint, and feathers to make a mosaic. The world gleamed with a hallucinatory brilliance. People, places, clothing, and colors seemed impossibly beautiful, as did the world lost to me for so many years in disability. In this state, every molecule seemed enchanted, mysterious, connected, and often hilarious. Creativity began tumbling out for the first time in 20 years. I'd made my living as a freelance writer, which only 10% of Canadians do, despite having a disability. Yet within a few months of taking benzos, could barely pen a decent paragraph. Some days I couldn't think at all, the brain fog dense and thick as chocolate. When I complained, the doctor insisted it's cognitive impairment caused by a severe worsening of fibromyalgia. After a decade, I gave up on the idea of ever putting pen to paper again or fingers to keyboard. But after I was off all prescription drugs for a year, not only did my cheekbones reemerge, so did a lucid brain. As mind and skills began to improve, I decided to start a blog. I was exploring the lead character, a comic alter ego I named Ms. Loco Voracious, for I am fresh, wild, and local. I told people she's like a cross between Jane Austen drag kicking and screaming into the computer error and a drag queen. Yeah, she's just like a drag queen, over the top and larger than life. The next morning, I was having a late lie-in in bed and musing about the blog to be when I suddenly heard a melodious yet masculine voice say in my ear, "I'm not like a drag queen, dickhead. I am a drag queen." "Ah!" I screamed in my head. Now, I'm as open-minded as the next person, perhaps more so being a feminist pagan who's heard the voices of her beloved dead from time to time for nearly 30 years. And I was familiar with the concept proposed by Swiss psychoanalyst Carl Jung that every man has an inner woman, the anima, and every woman an inner man, the animus. But it's quite one thing to enjoy the idea as an intellectual construct and another to have a loud gay guy in your head insulting you. At one point, I did panic, thinking I'd gone well and truly bonkers, way past the boundaries of the delightfully batshit crazy I'd enjoyed since I quit benzos. Though he seemed warm and funny, I asked him to go away for 3 weeks. After all, I'd lived alone with only my own inner voice for company for over 30 years. He instantly agreed. Boundaries. After 3 weeks of blessed silence, I found I missed the amusing male voice in my head and invited him back. He returned, advising, supporting, and making me laugh so hard I'd have waffle mouth if we hadn't been in bed. Ms. L, or RJ as we later named him together, was witty as hell, but also supportive, creative, and kind. RJ said, "Darling, you're starting your career over again at your slightly advanced age, and quite frankly, you're the teensiest bit dowdy. Let me choose your clothes." He'd look in my closet and go whoosh, whoosh, whoosh in seconds, pick out clothes in wild and unique combinations. I went out tentatively and got the best compliments in my life from total strangers. Normal people said, "I am dowdy. Can I hire him?" I replied, "I don't even know how I acquired him." Perhaps due to my age and experience, one foot was always firmly on the ground, but the other one was in la-la land along with my brain. I recognized the breaks with reality and enjoyed them. I said often, "If you see my mind, tell her I hope she's having herself as much fun as I am." Charles Bukowski once wrote, "Some people never go crazy. What truly horrible lives they must lead." RJ and Aphrodite seemed vastly better than the ranting, raving hallucinations I'd read about when I began to research hearing voices. This seemed more like a cross between a trip to Oz and a ayahuasca shamanic journey. Every day was exciting as I wondered, what next? In my wildest dreams, I could never visualize the next visitor to Benzo.